Greeting, it's Julia Treat from juliatreat.com. And today I want to talk about the importance of having a vision about your life, a vision about what you are moving towards. So if you haven't heard me say this before through one of my podcasts or newsletters or videos on YouTube, hear me now. The universe is listening to us 24/7. And the way the universe listens to us, it is through vibration. It's the vibration we put up to the universe. So we can get into a lower vibration of when things happen in our lives that are not exactly, what we feel like we would want to call in. Perhaps there's issues with money or relationships or our health or whatever. And things begin to shift our vibration into a lower, I'm going to say, negative vibration, so that when these things happen to us time and time again, or I'm going to say this, as we're little youngsters and we're watching our parents or going to church or watching television, everything that we hear, experience, see, everything is being like downloaded into our cellular memory. So as we watch perhaps our parents struggle with some area of their life, whether it's money or health or love, then those types of stories start to kind of take control within our own being, and we begin to lose sight of what is actually possible when we can let go of all of that. Now, you'll be learning about the whole vibrational thing of releasing those old stories in a later lesson. But for today, we're going to talk about the importance of having a vision. And you are going to get a sneak peek into my vision board and my vision book. So it's so simple to create a vision board or book. And I actually have both. I have two boards and I have a vision book, and I'm going to show you some things from each so that you can get an idea. So I always tell people, if you don't know what your ultimate vision is, if you really don't know what that is, then just begin to think about what it is that makes you happy, or what would make you happy. Maybe it would just be walking on the beach with your ultimate soulmate or the love of your life, even if you don't know who that is yet. Maybe it's just walking on the beach hand in hand. Maybe it's just hearing children's laughter. Maybe it's traveling to different really cool destinations around the world and discovering things that you've never seen before. So I'm going to show you some things. This is my vision book that I started years ago. And it is full. It actually started as a journal, and then I ended up stopping the journal, and we're going to go through a lot of this stuff, like all of this. It's jam-packed with things that I have put out to the universe. And then we're going to talk about how, number one, you cannot outdream God. If you walk outside and you say, oh my, God created all this, why couldn't he send me this one thing or this, universe doesn't have, the universe doesn't weigh things out as this is a bigger miracle than this. The universe is just like, what do you want? Here you go. It's not, this is smaller than this and easier. Okay, just keep that in mind. We are the ones that decide that. And again, we are guiding the show. So if we've decided this thing is so massive, I don't even know how in the heck the universe is going to bring that to me. So I'm going to scale down. I'm just going to imagine this lesser thing. So that's not what you want to do with this whole vision board and book. So let me get started here. So years ago, I just started getting this dream or this feeling of I would like to have a spiritual retreat here in the mountains of Northeast Pennsylvania. Now, here's the crazy thing. About 5 years before I ever had this feeling or thought, I had a medium tell me that I was going to open a spiritual retreat in the mountains of Pennsylvania. And I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. I didn't say that to her, but I thought it was, because I had no inclination that was even on my radar. But when I started having these ideas, then I decided to start creating a vision of what I was calling in. So I started with this book, the one I showed you right here. And for some reason, because the front of this was a journal, I used it as a journal while I was finishing my book, actually. And my book is right behind me. Stepping into the Light. It's right up there with the fairies. They're watching over. And let me just say that I found this book and I decided this is going to be the one that will be my vision book. And I don't know if just because it says, love generously, give beautifully, live fully. That's kind of my motto. So I started finding things. So the first thing I put out to the universe was, I'd really love to have this retreat kind of made of wood, not like kind of like a cabin, but massive, right? Just kind of that look. And so I started finding pictures of, I think I'm going to show you one of my boards because it has better pictures on it. So let me grab this. Okay, so this is whoops, I'm trying to run the thing over. This is the board of the retreat that I am manifesting. Sorry, my light is bright back there. It's dark here today. It's like a rainy day, so I had to turn on an extra lamp. Okay, so these are just ideas that, this, I thought, this or better. I'm big about saying this or better. I thought that would be so cool. I could see people sitting on the deck, even myself. This is getting a glare, but here's a funny thing. I got this out of a magazine, this picture. And I'll pull it back up. I did a group reading for a very small group. I think there were 4 people that came to my house. And it came out in that group that there were people in the group that did not have a vision, and they needed to create a vision, and they needed to figure out, something like you need a vision of your life so the universe knows what to start bringing you. So I went and got this board and I held it up for people in the group. And one of the gentlemen, it was 3 women and 1 gentleman, that's right. When I held it up, like he was just silent, and I couldn't tell if he was like floored what was coming out in the reading or if, I didn't know why. He was just silent, quiet, and just taking everything in. So I showed him this board and I showed him all the pictures, and I'm going to show you the rest of them. And I put it down and we went on to talking. And he said, a few minutes later, he said, "Can you show me that board one more time?" And so I held it up and I showed him, and he started saying, he goes, "I can't believe that you have all of this." He said, sorry, my face. He said, "My ex-father-in-law." He goes, "I know where that is. It's in Colorado." He said, "My ex-father-in-law built that." And he started pointing at different spots on the picture. And he's like, "Right behind this wall, there's this. And right behind this wall, there's that." And we were all like in awe. These are the kind of winks you get those from the universe. I have goosebumps right now. So it's crazy that I got that picture out of a magazine, one of these log and home magazines. And someone at a group reading used to be married to the guy's daughter who built that in Colorado. Okay, that's the crazy, amazing stuff that the universe can do. So I told him that was wild, but I was so amazingly in awe of the whole thing. So, so let me show you a few other things. So I envision the retreat being for adults, but a huge emphasis on children. There are so many sensitive kids here and so many on the way that I want a place where they can come and connect, with their spiritual entourage, but also making new friends that are like-minded. So anyway, this was the story behind that. Now, I put pictures of what I would really love. I love lights. Can you tell? Come on. Fairies everywhere. So I always picture people sitting under the tree here and talking about, their life and their goals. I found this angel gate that I thought was cool. It's so important. It's fun to put checks on your board, checks written out to you, and it's signed by the, so I have my name, written too, and I have the date, and I have signed by the massive and abundant universe. So it's fun to put checks on there. And people tell me all the time, I put checks on my board and I started receiving money from different places, whether someone owed them money or they got refunds they didn't know about. So here's a cool thing here. So of course, Jesus, I always say Jesus is my main man. I call on him all the time, and he has definitely helped me with all of this. Again, I have more tables that I would envision at the retreat. And I don't just envision it. You're going to learn the power in, I can hear in my head, or I close my eyes and I envision the chatter, the talking, the laughing, the reminiscing, friends meeting again. I imagine that, and all of us sitting around and laughing and have the best time. I love all of this. I love nature, of course. And I picture myself and my, my best friend sitting here and talking about how freaking easy this was. Like we didn't have to make it hard our whole life. So I just have this here. Oops. And here, I even have bunk beds where I envision the children would stay. And I have this little circle. I found this little picture of kids and put that in there. I have always envisioned attuning children to Reiki or just awakening them to their own healing abilities and working with horses. So I have that. So that is my board. Now, I showed you that for a reason, because when I started creating my board, I put the cabin stuff up, like the cabin looking retreat. And it was just a few days, within a week, in the mail, I received this big postcard. And I pulled it out of the box and I turned it around and it says, I kid you not, Treats Cabin. Oops, there's the glare. Treats Cabin. My last name is Treat. So to me, that was a huge wink from the universe saying, we hear you, keep going. We got the message about the retreat. Now, something I just realized recently in the past few months, I go through and look at my vision book to see all the stuff I put in there. And I just reminisce of how cool it was that it showed up. But I just noticed this little fairy and it says Ink Pixie. So the fairies are very, they're like master manifestors of material. I just looked out because I have a window over there I'm looking at and a hawk just flew by my window. That is my spirit animal guide, my main one. Thank you, Hawk. You're hearing me right now. So fairy, the fairies I call on all the time. Can you tell this whole shelf? That's an angel like right there, but they're dedicated to fairies. I have them everywhere. So I noticed this a few months ago, and it was another wink from the fairies saying, "Look, we are helping." And when I was reminiscing, and I was looking at the address. It says 111. Let me see. 111 North Center Street. 111 is an angel number, and triple ones mean keep your thoughts only on what you want to manifest. So stay focused on what it is you want to manifest. That is also the message from the hawk, by the way. So it's so amazing that he just flew by my window when I was talking about this, and I was going to talk about 111. Again, when you get into this magical energy of allowing the universe to help you and remembering that you're not here alone, crazy, amazing stuff can show up. So that was my first huge wink, and it was a doozy, and it was a big one for me. I don't know if it has a date on it. No. I just wondered when that showed up. Oh, in 2014. Because it says you have to place your order by August 2014. So it was sometime around there. Well, then I had in my vision book, excuse me, I have the windmills, these big white windmills, and I imagine creating energy, natural, alternative energy, and then that would run the retreat. And perhaps we could even somehow offer it out to others that need energy, need that alternative energy. So a week later, this is all like boom, 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 one after another. So a week later, there was a doorbell, the doorbell rang at my house. We never get visitors. Like no one ever rings a doorbell that I don't know is coming. Like, if clients are coming, that's different. But just out of the blue, I answered the door and there was a woman, a young lady standing there, and she handed me this card. Oops, can you see? It is Green Mountain Energy, and she was selling the windmills. It is, I wrote windmills so I wouldn't forget. So it had her number, who you call, and this was right after I was talking about the windmills. So wink after wink that keeps coming. Now on my board, I did have at one point, that's my retreat board is the one I showed you. Let me show you my personal one. Did you grab it? So my personal board. So I always tell people you want to have things for what you have in mind. So of course, I wanted to have still a picture of the retreat there. This is one of my favorite pics. It's a little girl putting her crown on and saying, straighten your crown. It's always, I feel God saying, remember who you are. You are my child. You are a child of God. So let's step into that role. Again, the horses, this is another wink that came. I hope you can see this. this came across my social media feed. Oh my gosh, I have to hold it up. Hang on, because I really want you to see this. Okay, so this came across my social media feed. This right here. And I don't know if you can make it out on this video, but on this mountain, you can actually see ski slopes coming down. I don't know if you can tell. So there are ski slopes coming down that mountain. So the place, universe has guided me, by the way, to where the retreat would be. It has guided me that way, whether I've gone on the interstate to get there or taken back roads. And sometimes I'll tell my boyfriend, Michael, like, we just got to go drive up to the mountain. I don't know why. I don't know where we're going, but we're driving. And he'll drive. He'll be my driver. And we'll be riding. And I don't, I know the area now, but I did not know the area a year or two ago. And one day we're driving and we're going down the road and we pass this road that goes across a bridge and we keep going. I go, wait, I was like, turn around. We're supposed to go up that hill, cross that bridge and up that hill. And I don't know why, but we're supposed to go up there. This is how it is in my life, because I trust universe when I get my ideas. I'm so connected and in tune. I'm like, we have to go back there. He never questions a thing. Michael just turns around and back we go. We go across the bridge and up the hill. And it's this windy, windy hill. We've never been up this road. And it takes us to the exact spot where I have felt that the retreat would be. So what I was getting to when I showed you that picture and asked if you could see the ski slopes, the spot that I have envisioned or been guided to where the retreat is going to be, you can see a mountain behind it. Elk Mountain is what it's called. And you can see the ski slopes from the retreat location. So I just got chills saying that. So when I got that picture, I think it was on Facebook, and it came across and I go, oh my God, Mike, it's like they're showing me exactly where it's going to be. I mean, it was crazy. So my board also has, couples holding hands in a sunset, and I just have love, and I have gold hearts everywhere. And it has travel. It has, the word travel has a compass, like just go anywhere. So on my personal board, it has a lot of things that would make me super happy to be able to do all that, to be in love. It has people doing yoga on a platform outside. Let me see if that's on. Let me show you. Yeah. Sorry, go this way. So there's the yoga where they're doing a platform outside. I love that. I do yoga. And look at that beautiful table. I definitely envision that at the retreat. I have love. So adventure, and always right in the center, I have balance. Okay. So let me keep going, because I have to tell you about how all this, when we put the vision out there, the universe starts giving you winks that you keep going, we've got it covered. Now, granted, my dream is huge. It's a big vision. I would say, like, have a big, bold vision. If you don't, that's cool. I don't care if your vision is laying in a hammock, drinking pina coladas at the beach, whatever it is. Just have a vision, whatever's going to make you happy. Having this retreat and hearing and seeing the people come and get healing and love and connection and joy, and that make me really happy. So on my board, I used to have become a published author. Okay, so as things come true, you can either create a new board or you can take things off. I took that down because I'm a published author now, so I took that down. I achieved that. So as things show up, I remove it, and then I put it in a journal. I call it the gratitude journal. You can write in your gratitude journal, just grateful for anything, but you can also add the little pieces from your book or board that come true, and you can even put a date and then say, came true this day, thank you, universe, thank you, God, whoever you think. So here's the other stuff, here's the other things that kept showing up. And this has to do with the retreat. I'll talk about that. So the retreat, I had the location I felt. Now it is an establishment that is open and running where I have been guided. Sometimes Michael and I go there and we'll sit and it's a restaurant. We'll sit and have a beer or something and just imagine it's our place. In fact, I'll tell them, let's go up to the mountain and give them their eviction notice. Like we goof around like that. And when we pull up, we'll get out of the car and Michael will say, we're home. It's just, we have a lot of fun doing that. So I had the location, the feeling of where it was. Now, I then was like, all right, God, I don't know how we're going to make this happen. So I'm putting it in your hands and universe's hands. I'm going to keep the vision and I'm going to keep going and imagine that it's coming true, that it already has. And I would do it a few minutes every day. I would imagine it. I would hear people there. It was just, and it still fills me up. I can just go there like that. Well, I was at a point last year where I was in a transition. So I really had stepped away from all of my friends, or they stepped away from me. It just needed to happen. I just need to separate, because I don't know what was happening with me. I was shifting and I was moving into something else, some other vibration. And so there's a time when I didn't have any friends. And so I know to ask the angels for everything. I asked the angels to bring me new friends. I said, angels, I need new friends. Bring me some friends. I'm ready for some friends. I mean, Michael and I are best friends, but I need some other friends. So I did meet a couple of girls, and we were sitting around having, drinking a bottle of wine one night, and we were discussing our hopes and dreams. And I brought up the retreat. And I talked about it, that I thought I knew where it was and was going to be. And I just didn't know how it was all going to come about, but I just was so excited about it. Well, one of the girls turned out to be the director of the architect department at one of the local universities. And she reached out a couple days later after we had talked, and she said, how serious are you about this retreat? And I said, oh, I'm serious. Like, this is my mission. This is my goal, my vision. And she said, well, you know what? I'm starting a new new year, and my 8 seniors need a project to design. Would you allow us to design the retreat? And I have chills right now saying that, because I was like, what? So this is something the universe brought me that would have cost tens of thousands of dollars to have just one architect design it. I had her 8 best students, the seniors that were graduating that year. Holy moly, right? So I spent the semester with the students. They went up to the property with me. Everybody, the students, their instructor, the professor, me, everyone had the chills while they walked around the facility. I mean, it was nuts. And I told them all, I even said this, I go, don't mention, if the manager comes out, don't mention anything about what we're doing, because they have no clue that I have plans of taking this over. It was pretty hilarious. But we all had the chills. It was magical. And the things that they have created, I have it in a portfolio. The retreat is designed on paper. Beautiful. It has all of the pictures as if people, like real life pictures. I don't know how they do all that, because that's all that computer stuff. But it is amazing. So that dropped in my lap, the next thing. Then I just literally just said up, told God, well, the next thing that needs to happen is, I guess the next thing that needs to happen is the property needs to come for sale. You can make that happen. That's the next step, I guess. And it was not even a week later. I was at hot yoga. I go to hot yoga often. I was in the shower after class, and I heard 2 women speaking in the dressing room to one another. And they were speaking about the property that I had, or, that I felt was where the retreat's going to be. And they were talking about how it was for sale. Kid you not. I was giggling to myself in the shower. I was like, well, they're going to wonder what the hell is going on in here, because I just started giggling. So the property's for sale. That just happened within the last year. So can you see what I'm getting at? I never once have ever given up on that vision of the retreat. And I always say, this or better, God, this or better, because you may have bigger, better plans than I ever imagined. I've never given up on it. I've kept the vision. I've done the vibrational work where I imagine everybody there, and I've seen it, heard it, and I don't obsess about it. I do it a few minutes a day, and then I go on about my day. I even tell people, whatever your vision is, do things that you would do if that was already true. Or here's something else. You could even say you want a new home, or you want to move to a certain state. You start looking at houses in that state, so that you start telling the universe what it is you like and what it is you don't. You're going to start giving the universe a checklist. So the retreat, so much more. I mean, I just get so many winks after winks after winks. And there's even people that have come into my life now that I know are going to be a part of the retreat. They will be teaching there. or even just being huggers or greeters or something. And there's just this tiny little circle, but we're all feeling it. We're knowing it. We get the chills when we talk to each other. Again, so the only part that's missing that I don't have right at this moment, I always tell everyone, just say right at this very second, it's just not here, because it could be the next second. But I said, now God just has to bring the funding, the money, the mother load, whatever. And so I know that's coming. How could it not be coming with everything else that has lined up? So get clear about your vision. Again, yours might not be to have a spiritual retreat. Maybe it's to just travel the world with the love of your life. Maybe it's to travel the world and write a book. Maybe it's to have a housekeeper, a chef. Those are definitely in my vision book. I even just told Michael last night, I said, I'm tired of cooking. Our chef can hurry up. Our chef can show up any day now. So I'm looking down, so I get little things. I'm gonna find some other things and show you to give you ideas. Now I get pictures out of magazines or I print them out online. You can find things online, pictures of anything. And so part of the retreat, we will have, I've already envisioned this, tree houses. And so like this, like a magic, so I put this in, that's one picture. So it's a tree house, and I like to write, and I love colored pens, and it's, this is a magical place, fairies everywhere. It's a fairy tree house. Awaken the child inside again, which we all need. And so there'd be perhaps different tree houses that people could stay in. Find something else. So you really want to be creative. Okay, so this is one of my dream cars. It doesn't have to be an Audi, but I love white convertibles and I want one. Again, this is everywhere, right? I have this in every board in this book again. Oh, and I was guided to the name of the retreat in a meditation, and that will be revealed soon, I'm sure, because it will be coming to fruition. So live the dream. I cut these words out. I just think I actually typed them out and cut them out. Oh my gosh, my hair. I'm growing my hair out and it has a mind of its own. I never had curly hair like this, and it is like wavy. It's so funny. Live the dream. Oops. Inspire the world. So look, I have a couple in love at the beach, and I'm going to tell you what, just imagining this and what that would feel like and how in love we are. Michael and our relationship has transcended to amazingness. Okay, Tony Robbins, I'm a Tony Robbins groupie. I love him. I love to learn from him. And I put him in here. He teaches me to do this. That's what I have. So I will be up here like this someday, having a panic attack, but I will be up there. Children, there's the children. Look at the children like doing energy work with other kids. I mean, that just touches my heart. So I do think it's important that you have a vision board and a book. I really do, because the book, I'm going to show you. So the infinity symbol, and I just write a lot, like this says, oh, what would we offer at the retreat? And I have all these things, these ideas that we could offer. And then I just take my colored pens and change colors, and I just do this as I read my list or I think about it. Again, this is kind of like a meditative practice. You're amping up the energy. So cute. So here's the name of the retreat, Speranza. Speranza means hope in Italian. And so a lot of people, even that watch this video, start seeing the word Speranza or Esperanza, which is hope in Spanish. So I got this in a meditation, and I didn't even know what the word meant. I heard it because I was like, what is it going to be called? Like, I'm asking that. And see, I know how to ask for stuff. And I heard the word Speranza, and I was like, oh, well, I don't even know what that means. So I looked it up. I didn't even know it was a word, and it said it meant hope. And I was like, perfect. I doodle in my books, Lightworkers Academy, Team Halo, the kids, just fun, right? Fun, fun, fun. I keep dreaming it, imagining it. Now this is just a home that I want. Look, I even drew little dolphins in the water. I'm so silly. So I would love to have something like this, like a deck. And I was like, this is my home. Friends come and stay with me there. We have so much fun. Again, I'm telling universe what I'm expecting, and it's glorious. I have a page with just all the kids, different things. You get the paint. They're just having fun, joyous. Look at her raising her arms up to universe, loving on the horses. Okay, so I think you have an idea. Whatever makes you happy. Some people put cars Oh, here's one of my doodle pages. I love to just doodle stuff. I am a magnet for miracles. Okay, just anything. So start your book. Oops, stuff's falling out. Start your book, start your board or boards. For me, I needed one for the retreat and one personal. That's just what I felt. I just wanted one of the retreat stuff and the other one was my whole life. So get busy, get creative. Some people draw words and stick people and it's still, if that's what resonates with you and that works and that's powerful for you, then do that because people's stuff starts coming true. I'm a visual person. I love pictures. I love glitter. I love color. So I loved that I decorated mine different. I even went to like one of those stores. I think it was Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but I got a lot of fun stuff to put on my board and just really make it special. All right. So get clear with your vision at just whatever's going to make you happy because you can change it at any time. You can change anything. You can take something off, put something new on. If you don't resonate with it anymore, don't keep it up. If it's not something that just makes you feel in love with life, don't put it on your board. All right? All right, create your vision board. And if you're part of the Clairvoyant Collective, the Facebook page, then come over there and post pictures of your board because we will all be cheering you on. It is so like even more powerful if you're posting it and we can all envision that happening for you. We'll be envisioning that is your reality already. Okay? So get ready for miracles, my friend, and never, ever give up on your dreams. All right? God bless.